President Obama initiated several programs to help the people that were affected with the financial crisis. I happen to be one of those people. So I'm writing a hardship letter to my mortgage company. I'm trying to modify my mortgage or get whatever help I can to overcome this crisis. Everything in my life was on the upswing. I worked at the Hilton Hotel as a graveyard engineer and made an above-average income. My bills were always paid ahead of time, and I could afford to do almost anything I wanted to. In my opinion, I had all the good things life has to offer. Maybe things were too good to be true, because overnight everything started to change. I had to make a drastic change in my lifestyle because of circumstances I had no control over. A little over 2 years ago, I had a heart attack and was told that I had to have open heart surgery. The doctors gave me less than 2 months if I didn't let them operate. The problem was that one of my heart valves had quit working, and it had to be replaced either with a mechanical valve or a PICC valve. I also had to have 5 bypasses because plugged up arteries were the main cause of the problem. The cardiologist said that because of my age, a PICC valve would probably be best. The surgery was done, and my body rejected the new valve, and for 6 months I lived in hell. My new valve was the mechanical valve in my heart, and one of its functions was to rid my body of excess water. However, it wasn't performing this function, and my legs and feet swelled up several times larger than normal. They opened me up and tried to repair the valve, but the repair was impossible, so if I wanted to live, the whole operation had to be done again. The picture I've just painted was the beginning of my financial difficulties. Because of the inability to fill my job requirements, I was fired from the Hilton. However, with the money I'd saved from retirement and Social Security, I was able to keep up with my utility bills, my mortgage payments, and my life expenses. The home I lived in was primarily used as a duplex, and I lived in one half of it, and my daughter lived in the other. Originally, it was framed to be 4 apartments, so with a little bit of work, I was able to make it a 4-plex, which substantially added to my income. Even though I had to do without many luxuries, I was able to survive in comfort. When you become a landlord, you've got to be all things at all times to all your renters. It's a sin for you to get sick or be tired, and if you run out of steam, you can't be fired. So I tackled the job with a vengeance. Everything went according to plans. I had to deal with a few bad renters, but mostly everything went smooth. That is until my last encounter with a family that rented 2 of my apartments. They were good at paying their rent for almost a year, then all of a sudden they didn't have any work and couldn't pay their rent. I liked Marge, the mother and main provider for the family, and I thought for sure I could trust her. So I opened my heart, even though I couldn't afford it, and carried their rent for well over 3 months. I even bought them groceries. They promised to catch the rent up as soon as they got back to work. I told them not to worry about paying me back for the groceries, but that I absolutely needed the money, the back rent, and that I'd work with them until they got on their feet. They owed me $1,800 for the basement apartment and $2,500 for the main floor. And even with the loss of that income, I would have survived, but it would have been tough. What really hurt, and what almost put me into bankruptcy, is the way they left. They left in the middle of the night with no notice and a malicious destruction of my property. They kicked holes in the walls, ripped the doors off the cabinets, broke windows, and completely ruined the carpets. The apartments were finished, but none of the furniture was usable. It has taken me well over a month to renovate the upstairs apartment, doing all the work myself, and close to $6,000 for the carpet, plumbing, electrical, painting, and replacement of windows. I'm still in the process of renovating the basement apartment. I have to do all the work myself because of the high cost of labor. So far, I've fixed the plumbing, electrical, sheetrocking, and replaced the entrance door. I still have to do the painting, the carpeting, the windows, but I have to wait until I can raise the money for the material. Sincerely yours, William Cassidy.